Yes. And, so with the mercy of Guru and Gauranga, we are sitting here now. We had Kirtan and we will be doing Krishna Katha. Without their mercy and blessings, these moments that are spent for our spiritual nourishment is not possible. So we are very grateful to them and their blessings. Okay, so we are in the first chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in the first chapter, so far we have discussed about the prologue, the first 3 slokas, right? Describing the characteristics of the absolute truth, and then the characteristics of Jiva Dharma, Jaiva Dharma, or the Dharma of the soul. And third one is the invitation of Srimad Bhagavatam to enjoy the Bhakti Rasa, to reciprocate Bhakti Rasa with Bhagavan. That's prologue. After that, we will see, I'm going to show you the PowerPoint presentation of the whole first chapter. And this is what we are going to see, the contents of the first chapter. Qualifications of a speaker. What should be the qualification of a speaker who is discussing the spiritual topics? Those will be dealt here. We will be seeing them soon. And then 6 questions of the Naimisharanya sages. And the qualification of a Kali Yuga. I don't know if you have to call qualification or disqualification, but Halat of Kali Yuga Jiva. What are our qualities, the Kali Yuga Jiva qualities? And then the potency of holy name and sadhu. So these are the contents of the first chapter. Now I will take you to the PowerPoint of the first chapter. Please look for these contents. We'll go one after the other. And at the end, we will be going on to second and third chapters where we will find the answers for these 6 questions. That will be the plan for today. Okay. Now, yes. Can you see this? Yeah. You see this PowerPoint?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you. Thank you for the response, Mataji. All of you just went behind the screen. So yes, I remember. Thank you. All right. So yeah, before I share this PowerPoint presentation, I want to acknowledge and thank you, Bhakti Vedanta Vidyapita, the whole team, Gauranga Darshan Das, Prabhuji team there. These are the PowerPoint presentations from Bhakti Vedanta Vidyapita. They kindly allowed us to download so we may be able to discuss this Bhagavatam. So we are very grateful for their efforts and time to give this PowerPoint presentations so we can read Bhagavatam systematically. So thank you to the Bhakti Vedanta Vidyapita team. Right. So this is the first chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, and these are the contents. That's the first sloka. Who is absolute truth? The 7 characteristics of the absolute truth. That's the second sloka. What
Mataji,
is? Yes.
we're only seeing the PowerPoint where it says question of the day, chapter 1.
Is that so, Prabhu?
Are you sharing like another slide or something?
I am sharing something else. I'm glad you said it.
Okay. Yeah, no
I
problem.
wonder why did you not say until now? So
Sorry.
yeah.
We're still seeing the first slide.
Okay, because I didn't start sharing it. Ab?
Now we're seeing something different. Yes.
Okay. Do you see this Bhaktivedanta Vidyapita? Yes.
Yes.
Now
Srimad
does it
Bhagavatam
make
Canto,
sense, all
chapter
my
1.
words? Yes.
Oh, yes. Now it makes sense.
Yes.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. So these are the contents that I was talking about. The prelude, the first three slokas, and then 6 questions of Goswami, Naimisharanya sages, and the characteristics of a Kali Yuga Jiva, and some glorification of the Sadhu and Harina. Starting now, that's the first sloka. The 7 characteristics of the Absolute Truth. Second sloka, the 7 characteristics of the real dharma of the soul. That's the third sloka. Invitation of Srimad Bhagavatam to relish this bhakti rasa with Bhagavan. And then comes the next topic, where the sages of Naimisharanya are inviting Suta Goswami. They offered him the Vyasasana, you see here. And now the sages of Naimisharanya, headed by Shaunaka Rishi, they are greeting Suta Goswami. They are saying, see, Suta Goswami, our pranams to you. You have all these qualities that a speaker of a spiritual topic should have. You are anagha. You are free from vices, free from fault finding in anybody. And you are akhyatani and adhitani. You have read the scriptures and you have explained the scriptures. And you are Veda Vidam Shreshtaha. Of those who know the Vedas, you are the Shreshtaha, you are the eldest one. And you are Saumya, you are gentle, simple, pure. And you are Snigdha, Snigdhasya. You are submissive to your Guru Parampara. You are just being a channel of mercy of Guru Parampara, a transparent medium of Guru Parampara, very submissive to them. Since you have all these qualities, you are the eligible person to please discuss the spiritual topics with us. So, keeping these Kali Yuga people in mind, would you please answer our questions? We have some questions for you. Look at this Kali Yuga people. Prayena alpayusha sabhya kala asmin yuge janaha mandaha sumanda matayo manda bhagya hi upadrutaha. They are manda. First of all, they are alpayusha, short-lived, and manda, lazy, sumanda matayo, they are misguided, and manda bhagya, their fortune is so meager, and upadrutaha, always disturbed. This is the halat of Kali Yuga Jiva. So, keeping this qualifications or disqualifications of this Kali Yuga Jiva, would you please answer the questions that we have? Our first question is, what is ultimate good for all? And our second question is, what is the essence of all scriptures? And our third question is, what is the reason that Lord Krishna has appeared in this world? We are very eager to hear all these topics, the answers to these questions. And we also heard that holy name is very potent. Apanna samsritam ghoram yannama vivasho grina tatah satyo vimuccheta yad bhibeti swayam bhayam. Yad bhibeti swayam bhayam. This Harinam can terrify even the terror personified. Apanna samsatam ghoram yannama vivasho grinan. When this holy name is taken even unconsciously, it can deliver us from this vicious cycle of birth and death. Tadah sadyo vimuccheta. At once it delivers us from this cycle of birth and death. That is the potency of the holy name. If that's the potency of the holy name, and we want to acknowledge the potency of a sadhu. Yatpada samshraya suta munaya prasamayanaha satyah punanti upasrishtaha swarduniyapo anusevaya. Swarduniyapo anusevaya. If somebody is taking bath in the Ganges water, it would take such a long time for them to get purified. But Satya punanti upasprishtaha, very immediately one is purified when yatpada samshraya shuta, when they get in touch with a sadhu bhakta. With their potency, a person is immediately purified in his association. Whereas association of Ganges is needed for a very long time to purify a person. So sadhu has such a potency. Harinam has such a potency. So we have heard about these glories. Okay? So who would not want to hear about these glories? About the Harinam, about the sadhu of the Bhagavan, and about the Bhagavan. So would you please tell us about all these glories? And also we have this fourth question. See, Lord Krishna came here. Why did he come? It's the third question. And when he came as Purushavataras. What are those Purushavataras? He also had Leela Avataras where he was performing pastimes. Would you please describe us about those Leela Avataras also? All these topics about this Bhagavan are so relishing. Vayam tu na viprama uttama shloka vikrame yashrinvatam rasajnanam swadu swadu pade pade swadu swadu. This is so relishing, so relishing. Pade pade. Please say it again and again. About who? Uttama shloka vikrame. About that personality who is praised with choicest word in the scriptures. That's Uttama Shloka Vikrame. Would you please say more about that absolute truth personified? We want to hear that. This is so relishing. Please say it again and again. We want to hear about Lord Krishna's Adbhuta Leela, superhuman activities when he appeared here. So in the Leela Avataras, would you please explain about Lord Krishna's activities too? Oh, Suta Goswami, you are like a captain for our ship. And we are looking at you to please save us from this ocean of material existence by giving us Krishna Katha. And the last question that we have is, Srila Suta Goswami, what happened after Krishna's departure? What happened to Dharma? I mean, who was giving shelter to Dharma when Lord Krishna has disappeared from this world? Until Lord Krishna was present, he was doing Dharma Samsthapana. But after Lord Krishna left this world, who was doing the Dharma Samsthapanaya? Would you please answer that question too? So kindly. Those are our questions. And we are putting forward and we are waiting for the answers. That's what Naimisharanya sages, Shaunaka Rishi, was discussing, was asking Srila Suta Goswami. That's the whole conversation of the first chapter of the first canto of Bhagavatam. And these are for our learning summary points. The first question, I'll let you read one after the other, please. What's the first question?
What is the ultimate good?
And second one?
Essence of all scriptures.
Third one, please.
Purpose of Krishna's appearance.
Fourth
one.
Yes. Fifth one.
Leela Avataras.
Yes. We want to know what is the difference between Purushavataras, Leelavataras, right? We'll get that. We'll get to that soon. And the last question of the sages?
Shelter of religion after Krishna's disappearance.
Disappearance. I should have hidden this slide and then ask you the questions. मैंने आपको दिखा के पूछ रही हूँ. But anyway, we have the 6 questions. And next one. See, this is the mood of the sages. Please see if we have any take-home points for us from this mood of the sages. FYI, devotees are expected to be or trying to be the sages. And how can we get there, or how can we walk in the footsteps of the sages? And these are something for us to look into. Okay.
Mataji, what is this eager to hear for Kshema and Bhava and
Right, yeah. This is a little summary of the whole first chapter that they have put together in a slide. And we are going to discuss about that now.
Oh.
So until now, we have discussed the flow of the first chapter. Yeah, the whole conversation between them. And now they have put this questions in one slide for our studying purpose. And here, this is a little summary of the, of buzzwords of the first chapter, little summary of the first chapter. Yeah, so we'll look into that. So what was the mood of the sages when the mood of the Naimisharanya sages when they were asking Suta Goswami? They were anxious for the spiritual improvement of the general public. Would any one of you like to add something to this? If it is applied to us, compassion, yes, we want to be anxious for the spiritual improvement of the general public. Anything that you would like to add here? Would you include yourself also here? Self-compassion to the self. We tend to forget that, right? First, there should be achar. We should do it first before we actually relay the information to others. Rather, at least they should simultaneously go on. So in that regard, we want to be compassionate to ourselves too, actually. Again, compassionate. We don't have to beat up ourselves, but we have to be compassionate for our spiritual improvement and compassionate to the general public too. Yeah. And then this is what the mood was. The sages, they were so eager to hear. Yeah, Vayantru Viprama, Uttama Shloka Vikrami. We are not satiated hearing the glories of the Uttama Shloka, Lord Krishna. Would you tell us more and more about about Lord Krishna? So that was the eagerness to hear. And I'm looking to see, Mataji, what is this for Kshema and Bhava? I am unsure what they meant about those 2 words there. But it was about eagerness. So I'm unsure about those 2 words. Maybe it will come to us later. It should be just before Vayantuna Viprama, Uttama Shloka Vikrami. So somewhere here. Okay, moving on to the next one. And look at the faith of the sages in the holy name and in the sadhu sangha. A sincere and advanced sadhu sangha. Right? faith in the holy name, and sadhu sangha. And this is Kritavan kila karmani saharamena keshava atimatyani bhagavan guda kapata manushaha. This is one more fact that Naimisharanya sages were bringing up. When they were asking for all the Leela avatars, they wanted to know more about Krishna and Balaram too. So in that context, they are asking, Kritavan kila karmani saharamena keshava. So with Rama, Balarama, Lord Krishna has descended, and Atimartyani Bhagavan, that Bhagavan Lord Krishna, along with Balarama, Atimartyani, they performed superhuman activities. Atimartyani Bhagavan Guda Kapata Manushaha. In the guise of a human form, they have performed superhuman activities. So would you please describe about them too? That's one of those sub-question that Naimisharanya sages asked when they were requesting to describe about Leela avatars of Lord. Okay, so that's the flow of the first chapter, and those are the take home or practical application points for us from the first chapter. I would, if you want, we can go back to these slokas, the important slokas. I will let you recite this, so you will have a feeling that we have completely studied the first chapter along with the flow, the take-home points, and the important slokas and their meaning. Yeah, I'll pause here if you have any questions, and after that we can go to the slokas. Anything before we move on? In the flow of the chapter, in the take-home points. Nothing? Okay. Let me ask you the questions then. Since you don't have any questions, I have questions. Let me ask you. Okay. Without now, let's, let me. What are the 6 questions, please? Non-stop, one after the other.
What is the best good for everyone? What is the
Ultimate
essence
good.
of
Ultimate good.
what is the essence of the scripture?
Scriptures.
Good. Second question.
What is the reason for Lord
Lord
Krishna's birth?
Appearance. Good. Yes.
What are the Leela avatar and the Purusha avatar?
Yes. Purushavasaras and Leelavataras.
What happens to Dharma after Krishna leaves?
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Good. TK. Upload. You are with us. Dindos off. Good. And then, what are the qualities of the Kali Yuga Jiva?
Mand Sumand Matayo.
Unlucky.
And
Lazy.
Disturbed.
Moral, disturbed. All of these qualities we can attest to that, right?
Short-lived.
Short-lived. Yes. And
Quarrelsome and lazy. Lazy and quarrelsome.
yes, quarrelsome, lazy, short-lived, and
Disturbed.
always disturbed. Yeah, upadrita.
Misguided.
Misguided. Misguided. One more. Unlucky. Their fortune is very meager. Unlucky. Yeah, good. Oh, okay. Then this is going to happen very fast. You all are really paying so much of attention now. I have to gather more information. I didn't expect this. I think we'll end up doing the second chapter also today. Okay, good. So I will let you recite this sloka. Please take turns. The Kali Yuga Jiva that we have just discussed. Try to get the Sanskrit words also if possible. Yeah, a volunteer can please go ahead.
I can try, Mataji.
Yes, yes, please.
Prayena alpayusha sabhya
Prayena alpayusha sabhya
Sabhya
kalavasmin yuge jana
kalavasmin
Kalavasmin
yuge
yuge
janaha
jana
manda sumanda matayo
mandaha
Manda
sumanda
sumanda
matayo
matayo
manda bhagya hi upadrutaha.
manda
Manda
bhagyani
bhagyahi
upadritaha.
upadritaha.
Yes.
Mataji, what was the meaning of sumanda matayo? Manda means like
Manda
dull.
is lazy.
Oh, manda is lazy. Okay.
Sumanda matayo are misguided.
Oh, okay.
Manda bhagya. Their bhagya is only manda. Their fortune is very little. Unlucky. Less fortune.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Upadritaha. Disturbed. Yeah. One more. Volunteer. The same sloka.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Prayena alpa ayusha sabhya
Prayena alpayusha sabhya
kalav asmin yuge jana
Kalavasmin yuge jana
janaha
manda sumanda matayo
mandaha
Manda
sumanda
sumanda
matayo
matayo
manda bhagyaya upadrita
manda
Manda
bhagyahi
bhagyahi
upadritaha.
upadritaha.
One more from Prabhuji's, please. It's okay to read, break the words also, no problem.
Prayan nal payesha. No, sorry. Prayan nal
Alpayusha
payusha.
sabhya.
Sabhya. Yeah, sabhya.
Prayena alpayusha sabhya
Kalav asmin yuge jana.
kalau asmin yuge janaha
Manda sumanda matayo.
mandaha sumanda matayo
Manda bhagyahi upadruta.
manda bhagyahi upadritaha. Thank you. It's getting so much better. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, so that's important shloka in Bhagavatam in the first chapter. So these are the important shlokas, one after the other. Yes. Anybody? One volunteer? First preference to Prabhuji's. Okay. Anybody? Any volunteer is fine, please. Go ahead.
Can I, Mataji?
Yes, go ahead.
Janmadyasya yato anvayad itaratas
Janmadyasya yato anvayat taratas
Chateshva Vignasvarat
chateshu abhignasvarat
Tene Brahma Hridayadik Kavaye
tene brahma hridaya
Adi kavaye
Muhyanti Yat Surayaha
muhyanti yasurayah
Tejo Vari Mridam Yata Vinimayo
tejo vari mritam yatha vinimayo
Yatra Strisargo Mrisha
yatra trisargo mrisha
Damna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam
dhamna svena sada nirasta kuhakam
Satyam Param Dhimahi.
satyam param dhimahi.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yes. So that's the first sloka defining the absolute truth. That's one important sloka. Second important in the first chapter. Volunteer?
I can try, Mataji.
Yes, please.
Dharma projita kaitava atra paramo
Dharma
Dharma
projita
projita paramo
निर्मत्सराणां सतां
nirmatsaranam satam
वेद्यं वास्तवम् अत्र वस्तु शिवदम्
vedyam vastavam atra vastu shivadam
तापत्रयोन्मूलनम्
tapatrayoन्मूलनम्
श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते
श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते
किं वा परैरीश्वरः
किं वा परैरीश्वरः
सद्यो हृदि अवरुध्यते अत्र कृतभिः
सद्यो हृदि अवरुध्यते अत्र कृतिभिः
शुश्रूषुभिस्तत् क्षणात्
शुश्रूषुभिस्तत्क्षणात्
Yeah, so that's the real dharma of the soul. This is the third important sloka in the first chapter, how Srimad Bhagavatam is inviting to relish bhakti rasa with Bhagavan. Volunteer? Yes, please. Nigama kalpataro galitam
गलितं फलम्
shukam amritadrava samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam
रसिका
Thank you. So that's the sloka. And what are the qualities of a speaker of spiritual topics? We can just say the Sanskrit words. Any volunteer? Just saying the Sanskrit
Anagha.
words. Anagha.
Freed from vices.
Yes, freed from vices.
Akhyatani. Adhitani.
Adhitani.
Explained and read. Veda Vidam Shreshtaha.
Veda Vidam
Yes.
Shrestha.
Eldest learned Vedantist. Saumya. One who is pure and simple. Snigdhasya. Of the one who is submissive.
Yeah. Please note, these are the qualities that we want to cultivate. If our katha has to be potent, if we are sharing Krishna consciousness with others, with whatever limited capacity that we have, we want to see that we cultivate these qualities also. Anagha, free from vices, free from fault finding. Akhyatani, adhitani. We have to read and hear the scriptures. And then not only just reading and hearing, we have to explain it to others. Even if it's to children, to family members, just whatever is learned has to come out in the words. Then it will be reinforced. Yeah. After this discussion, the first chapter, you can do that with your family members, whatever you have heard, even few words coming out, that causes reinforcement. So akhyatani, adhitani, both reading or hearing and also explaining, telling. Yeah. Veda Vidam Shreshtaha, eldest learned Vedantist. This is in general when there is a class going on, we will have to acknowledge and honor our seniors. And we don't really want to show how much we know in front of our seniors. That is the etiquette. So that is this Veda Vidam Shreshtaha. This is that application is for us. That we have to acknowledge and honor our seniors, and we do not want to correct them in front of everybody. These are all the etiquette. And if there is a question or correction that needs to be done, then that can be brought into their attention at a later time. But we have to observe that etiquette with the Sreshta, Veda Vidam Sreshta, with our senior devotees. Saumya, one who is pure and simple. This is Saumya is pure, gentle, simple. And we have any questions that, if we have any questions that's needing clarification, our intention should be to, is a humble, a gentle inquiry, not in a way that is challenging to the speaker. A speaker has no, there is no rule that the speaker has to respond to our questions. It is out of their own accord that they would give us the answers. So if there are any challenging questions coming, then the speaker has a choice not to respond at all. So when we are asking questions, our inquiry should be Saumya, should be simple, pure, yeah, and Snigdhasya. This is whatever we are now is because of whatever we received from our Guru Parampara. So we have to take that position, that lower position always, and give the higher seat to our Guru Parampara. So that's submissiveness, that we are only just passing on the message, but actually the source is from Bhagavan and Guru Parampara. That is Snigdhasya, submissiveness. So these are the qualities. If one has these qualities very well cultivated, even if they speak few words of Krishna Katha, then they will have a lot of potency. And if somebody tries to speak from the scriptures without these qualities in, then it would just be an information, passing on the information to scriptures. But there will be no transformation in the audience if these qualities are not there in the speaker. So that's the significance of these qualities. If the speaker has these qualities, they can bring transformation in the audience. If they don't have these qualities, they will just be mere information machines. Okay. This one, holy name. This is one more important sloka. By the way, any questions or comments before we go to the next sloka? Okay, let's go to the next one. Any volunteer, please? What is the potency of this holy name? What is the holy name that is given to us? Kya potency hai?
Mataji, I can try.
Please, Prabhu. Yeah, word after word. Yes, Prabhu.
Apana samsritim groham
Apanna samsritam ghoram
yannama vivasho granan
yannama vivasho grinan
tata sadyo vimuchyate
tata sadhyo chetan
yad bibiti swayam bhayam.
yat vibeti swayam bhayam.
Sorry, Mataji.
No, awesome, Prabhu. There is such a rapid improvement. Itna hai. Thank you, Prabhu. And next one. What is the potency of a sadhu?
Can I try, Mataji?
Yeah. Yes, and rest of you all, please. You could just do word to word also, one word at a time. This is an opportunity for all of us to get familiar with these Sanskrit words and not just put aside. So it doesn't have to come out like a sloka too. You can just say like word to word. And that was awesome, Nitai Gunamani Prabhu. Yeah. So please go ahead.
Yat यत्पादसंश्रयाः सूता
यत्पादसंश्रयाः
Sutta.
मुनयः प्रशामायनः
मुनयः प्रशमायनः
Prashamayanah.
साद्य पुनन्ति उपास्पृताः
सद्यः पुनन्ति उपस्पृष्टाः
स्वर्धुनी आपो अनुसेवया
स्वर्तुनीतपो अनुसेवया.
Sevaya.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Hare. So that's the sanctifying power of a sadhu. Sadhya, very immediately. Punanti, they will purify. Upasprishtaha, when we get in touch with them. Because Swantastena Gadhabrataha, they always carry Krishna within their heart. That's why they immediately purify us. The sadhu's potency is like that. Do we feel like this? Swadu, swadu, pade, pade. It is so relishing, more, please. Krishna Katha, please. Do we feel like this? This is the sloka. This one more important sloka. Anybody wants to try, please? Word is also fine. Word.
Mataji, can I try?
Yes, please do. That is why we're doing this. That's why we're taking time.
Vayam tuna vitra pyama
Vayam tu nama
uttama shloka vikrame
Uttama shloka vikrame
yat shrinvatam rasajnanam
Yat
Shrinvatam rasajnanam
swadu swadu pade pade.
Swadu swadu pade pade.
Awesome. Good. You are all doing so well. First of all, you don't have the hesitation now. You're like, okay, let me just read the Sanskrit. And you are taking it one by, word by word. And you're reading it. This is awesome. Very good, Mataji. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So those are the important slokas. Those are the questions. That's mood. Now, shall we get to the second chapter now? Do we want to know the answers to those questions? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I wanted to show you something before going to the second chapter. I thought you will appreciate this slide. I liked it. It was useful for me. So let me share that with you. Are you able to see the blue slide now? Ne?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Oh, blue. Okay, let me do that again. Share the screen. Yeah. Ye dekhna. Now that we have read the first chapter, right? Let's apply all that to us. Are we doing those? What are those things for? Why am I showing this and showing the answers to and asking the questions? Okay, I had the slide now. Okay, so what was the first one for the practical application that we had in the flow of the first chapter?
Mataji, can you put the slideshow or maximize the screen?
Do you see now? What do you see, Prabhu?
Yeah, we see Mataji, like all those chapters 1.1 to 1.
Oh, okay, haha, in the slide. Okay, I got it. Yeah, okay. Is that what you say, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. So my question is, now that we have seen the flow of the first chapter, right? After the first 3 slokas, the prologue, what was the practical application? What were the points that we had for practical application? Just think of the contents of the first chapter. After the prologue, what was the topic that we discussed?
What is the best thing for the human?
Yeah, right. Before that, in the
Qualification.
awesome. Yes. After the 3 slokas, all the Naimisharanya sages they welcomed Suta Goswami, right? And after he was given Vyasasana, they were talking about the qualifications, right? So that's one practical point for us, take home point. Qualifications of a speaker. Can you tell us what are those qualifications?
Anga.
Anaga.
Awesome, Anagha.
We should read and explain.
Yeah. Adhyatani,
Adhitani.
Aditani.
Aditani. Yeah. Akhyatani, Aditani. Awesome.
Aditani.
Read and explain, Anagha.
Saumya.
Saumya.
Yeah.
Saumya,
Saumya.
Snigdha.
Should be experienced one.
Right. Yeah.
Experience.
Saumyasya,
Learned one.
Snigdhasya.
Learned.
Mhm. Yeah, that is Veda. Veda Visreshtaha, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Veda Visreshtaha.
One more.
We got it?
There was one more.
Last one.
Last
Yeah.
one.
That's Snigdhasya, submissiveness. Right after Saumyasya, Snigdhasya, submissive one. And yeah, I guess we can revisit it, but I in the next slide you will see I put all those points in our practical terms. So we'll go to that slide. That's one thing. So this is the one. This is now when for us now we are discussing this katha, right? And tomorrow, the day after, next year, all of you now in the Bhakti Vriksha, you are hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, you will speak the Bhagavatam also. Very soon you will start speaking. So these are the things we want to observe. We already discussed this, but I've changed the terminology a little bit. So we can see that we are already doing this. So first one is Anagha, no fault finding. Okay. And learning all scriptures under guidance. That is Guru Nishta and submissiveness. This all comes under Guru Nishta. Reading the scriptures under guidance and being submissive to the Guru Varga comes under Guru Nishta. And we have already discussed this. We have to first practice it. And the practice has to flow out as preaching. So Achar first, and then comes the Prachar. This is very important point. This bhakti, the scriptures are meant for our purification and our application first. Then it should flow out as Prachar. So we don't take the scale and measure others of how others are doing. The scale is for us first. Yeah. And the last one, this we have to go back and see. Sadhu Sangha. We have to associate with the other devotees also. Here, the Naimisharanya sages, they said, "O Suta Goswami, you have all these qualities. Also, you have discussed various topics with the other saints also." So that's one more point that we have to keep in mind. Most of it, this is all self. The qualities for our devotee qualities to be cultivated for the self. And here comes Sadhu Sangha. This is devotee association and interaction. Okay. So these are the practical points for us from that sloka. And the very next sloka, the Naimisharanya sages said, "O Suta Goswami, you have all these qualities. Not only that, but also, please see that you give us this information in a very easy, understandable way for the good of the audience, so their heart can be satisfied." So these are the 3 additional points that the speaker is recommended to practice. All right. Okay. I guess we have covered the whole. Yeah. We have covered all that. First. Right. So this is the last slide. Hmm. Hmm. Yes, the practical points we have covered. I think we have done everything. Good. Yes, now we can come to this slide. So if you look at it, we have finished till here. We have completed the first chapter, right? So first chapter had prelude, 3 slokas, and these are the contents covered so far about bhakti, appearance of the Lord, and disappearance of the Lord. All these questions were pertaining to this subject matters. So for this question, first one, what is the ultimate good for humanity? And for the second question, the answers are in the second chapter. So we will go systematically, the second chapter also, but just to give you an idea of where the answers are for these questions. First and second questions. Actually, for the first question, ultimate good for humanity is bhakti, to develop love of God. That's the answer. Here they just quickly summarized, but when we go through the whole second canto, they'll talk in detail. And the essence of all scriptures is devotional service. They're present in the second chapter. So answers for the first, second, third, and fourth are present in the second chapter. Purpose of Krishna's appearance is to attract pure souls. And more details of that is given in second chapter. And the fourth question, after Krishna's appearance, we have talked about Karnodakasai Vishnu, Garbhodakasai Vishnu, and Shirodakasai Vishnu. And Praveen Prabhu, that was your question. Here it will be covered in the second chapter in detail of what those Purusha avatars are.
Okay.
Yeah. And after the Purusha avatars are in the very beginning, in the Sarga, before the creation starts, even before Brahma comes from the Garbhodakasai Vishnu. That all comes under Sarga. And the answers are given in this shlokas of the second chapter. And Leela avatars are the avatars that descend in each day of Brahma, in each Manvantara. So all those Leela avatars, they are described in the third chapter. And in these Leela avatars, the very important sloka, which says, okay, I have described all these Leela avatars, but please know, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. All these avatars come from Lord Krishna. That sloka is present in the third chapter when the Leela avatars are being described. And the answer to the last question of what was doing the Dharma Samstapana after Krishna has disappeared? What is the shelter for Dharma? Transcendental form of Krishna, visible transcendental form of Lord Krishna has disappeared, leaving behind very sublime transcendental form in Srimad Bhagavatam. That is Granda Rupam, Grandavataram. So that's the answer for the sixth question. Lord Krishna's transcendental personality has disappeared, leaving behind the Grandavatara. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Krishna is present in Srimad Bhagavatam from the first canto to 10th canto. Right? So that's the answer for the sixth question. And that's present in the third chapter, the very last sloka, glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. How Srimad Bhagavatam does Dharma Samstapana. How it gives shelter to the Dharma and how it destroys the enemies. All that is beautifully described in the third chapter, the very last sloka. So this is the overall view for the first, second, and third chapters. I am going to pause here see what you have to say. Praveen Prabhu, Josna Mataji, Hare Krishna, welcome. I'm just seeing the screen now. Until now, I just saw only the slides. Just want to greet the rest of the devotees too. Ravindra Prabhu, Hare Krishna, welcome.
Hare
Mataji,
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
welcome to you. Jyoti Tumkur Mataji, Hare Krishna, welcome to you. And Ashwini Mataji, Hare Krishna. Yes, Niti Mataji, Pranav Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Yes, we have acknowledged everything. Yeah, pause. Let's go ahead. That's the flow of the first chapter, the questions, the important slokas, the take-home points, and the answers that are present in the second and third chapters. Questions, reflections?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hari, Hari.
Mataji, I was thinking, is there a way just to read the translations from the first chapter? Like each one of us take turns and just read the translation?
Zarur, we could do that. Shall we do that now? That way we are just going to wind down the whole first chapter.
If that's okay with everybody.
Oh yeah, we have time to. We could do that. Yeah. Anything else?
Should I bring it up on Vedabase?
Yeah, we could do that. But any other questions or reflections before we go to that? Okay. Since nothing, yes, please. Yeah. So if somebody knocks on the door in the middle of the night, if they ask you, can you please, the first chapter, the first canto, can you tell us the flow? Can you tell us the important slokas? Can you tell us the take-home points? These three things. Want to see next week, the flow, take-home points, important slokas. Please see if you can bring that to us. Yes, Mataji.
Shloka memorizing, Mataji?
You could do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll let you all take turns, read the translation, and I guess that will call us to the close of this katha. Yeah.
I can start, Mataji.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Text 1. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva.
Sorry to interrupt, Mataji. Now that you know what's there in the first canto, first chapter, before you read or after you read, please say something. Now you know about this chapter. So when you are reading each translation, you know what the context is. So you could just, say something about that too. So what is this first sloka about?
First shloka describes the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his qualities.
Yes, please.
Text 1. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Sri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primal cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, and he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen in fire or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes, temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature, appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Sri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. Hare Krishna.
Satyam param dhimahi. Satyam param dhimahi. Yeah. Second sloka, what is it about, please? Second sloka is about kitne baar bol chuki
Real-
ho?
real dharma.
Seventh time.
The glories of
Dharma. Yeah, real dharma of the soul. Yes. Please go ahead.
Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavatam Puran propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. And Ravindra Prabhu, that was the answer. This was the discussion we had last time, right? What is it so special about Bhagavatam? Yes? Remember the discussion?
Yes, yes, Mataji. Yes.
I'm
I had that
recalling.
question.
I'm
Yes,
recalling all the discussions and all the devotees who had those questions. So it looks like we are also being a part of this Bhagavatam now, Prabhu. A part of the Naimisharanya sages now.
Yes, Mataji. We are creating history.
We are being a part of them. Yes, Prabhu. Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Third one. Yes, please. What is the third sloka about?
Most relishable of Vedic
Thank
literature.
you, Padma Priya Mataji. Yes, Srimad Bhagavatam is inviting us. Yes, go ahead.
O expert and thoughtful man, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desire tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Shukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls.
Okay. Can somebody try the sloka? This is a small one, that's why I'm asking. Even few words of the sloka.
Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam.
Very good. Please go on. Sukhamukha.
Sukhamukha amrita phalam.
Amrita drava samyutam.
Amrita dravya samyutam. I don't remember, Mataji.
Pibata, drink.
Bhagavatam
Rasamalayam. Muhur.
Muraho.
Rasika.
Bhavakaha.
Awesome. We did it. Mataji. Did it together.
Hare
Awesome.
Krishna.
Hari. This is really relishing. Pibata Bhagavatam. Yes. Thank you, Mataji. And then, you have the control, right? Just Mataji, can we go up?
You can't see the third.
Yeah, we have to go up, right? Yeah.
Can you see now? I can.
Yeah. Third one is done now. Fourth one. So, yeah, please go ahead. Fourth one, read. You can go ahead and read. Anyone else? Volunteer, please.
Once in a holy place in the forest of Naimisharanya, great sages headed by the sage Shaunaka assembled to perform a great 1,000-year sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord and his devotees.
Yeah. Also, the Naimisharanya that is present in India, right? So that is considered the hub of the universe, very central point of the universe. It has a lot of potency though. So the whole Bhumandala, it's not just the earth. There is whole Bhumandala. We'll know more about it in the 5th canto. But Naimisharanya is considered as the hub of the universe. And that's where the residents from the upper planetary systems, they used to come and visit also. Just FYI. That's Naimisharanya. That's where the great sages met to do the 1,000-year sacrifice for the good of the Kali Yuga. Yes, please. Go on. Next one.
One day, after finishing their morning duties by burning a sacrificial fire and offering a seat of esteem to Suta Goswami, the great sages made inquiries with great respect about the following matters.
Yes. What are those inquiries? Next one, please. Volunteer.
The sages said, "Respected Sutta Goswami, you are completely free from all vice. You are well versed in all the scriptures famous for religious life and in the Puranas and the histories as well, for you have gone through them under proper guidance and have also explained them."
Yes. And you can continue, Mataji, because the second one is related to seventh one.
Being the eldest learned Vedantist, O Sutta Goswami, you are acquainted with the knowledge of Vyasadeva, who is the incarnation of Godhead, and you also know the other sages who are fully versed in all kinds of physical and metaphysical knowledge.
Physical and metaphysical knowledge. Where is that screen? Okay. Yeah, and you can continue the next one too. It's the same thing. Continuation.
And because you are submissive, your spiritual masters have endowed you with all the favors bestowed upon a gentle disciple. Therefore, you can tell us all that you have scientifically learned from them.
Yeah, thank you. This is such an important matter. If you notice this here, because you are submissive, your spiritual masters have endowed you. That is the only qualification for us to receive the mercy. Not just by reading, not by our talent, not by anything else. The mercy flows down. If the water has to flow down, then the bhumi, the earth has to be bent like that. For us to get the mercy, we should always be submissive to Guru Varga. There is nothing else that can let them give their knowledge or support or blessings to us. It's so important being submissive. Just with the submissive itself, we can get empowered. Though we don't have much knowledge, though we don't have much talent, though we do not have anything with us, just being submissive to the Guru Varga, they will just empower us. So very important point, being submissive. Now, please go ahead. Since you have this quality, now please
Mataji, quick question.
Yeah.
What is the metaphysical knowledge?
Yeah, physical knowledge is the knowledge pertaining to this bhumi, rapo, analo, vayu, all these material elements. Metaphysical means that which is not visible, subtle, spiritual science. Physical science and spiritual science. So you can say metaphysical science means spiritual science, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, somebody, ninth one, please. Actually, Rama Mataji, please continue ninth one. The sages are still continuing the same topic with Sutta Goswami.
Okay, Mataji. Please, therefore, being blessed with many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way what you have ascertained to be the absolute and ultimate good for the people in general.
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and all above, always disturbed.
Yeah, thank you. Do you see the flow? We have discussed all this easily understandable way. Yeah, and these are the qualities of Kali Yuga people. And somebody else, next one, please.
There are many varieties. Go ahead, Mataji.
No, Prabhuji, please, Prabhuji, go ahead. Prabhuji, we want to encourage Prabhuji. We will.
Yeah, sure, Mataji.
Varieties. please, Mataji, follow after that. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sure. There are many varieties of scriptures, and in all of them, there are many prescribed duties which can be learned only after many years of study in their various divisions. Therefore, O sage, please select the essence of all these scriptures and explain it for the good of all living beings, that by such instruction, their hearts may be fully satisfied.
Yeah. Here, the Naimisharanya sages, they also implied when they're asking Suta Goswami, they are like, okay, we know that you are very perfect in Vedas and scriptures, but would you please limit it, concise it, and then make it applicable to this Kali Yuga people? So instead of giving us the vast knowledge, if you can tailor all that knowledge to this Kali Yuga people and give the answers accordingly. So that is a hidden message here. Many varieties of scriptures, and all of them are many prescribed duties. And you please give us the essence. That's what they're asking for, since the Kali Yuga jivas cannot take more than that. Yes, please. And Mataji, please go ahead, whoever was trying to read.
All blessings upon you, O Suta Goswami. You know for what purpose of personality of Godhead appeared in the womb of Devaki as the son of Vasudeva.
Yeah, this is talking about the appearance, right? Why does Lord appear here? You can go on with the second one too, Mataji.
O Suta Goswami, we are eager to learn about the personality of Godhead and his incarnations. Please explain to us those teachings imparted by previous masters, acharyas, for one is uplifted both by speaking them and by hearing them.
Yes, thank you. Somebody else, please. Next one.
Living beings who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is fear personified.
Even unconsciously chanting, the holy name has that efficacy. Yeah, next one, please. Somebody else?
O Sutta, those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas the waters of the Ganges can sanctify only after prolonged use.
Yeah. So Gangajal, we do the Tirtha Yatra to take a dip in the Ganges. We spend all that time, all that money, all that energy. But to get sufficient purification from that Ganges dip, it needs a lot of dips, a lot of time. But a momentary association with a sadhu who always takes shelter of Krishna, a momentary association can purify us. That is very important to remember. This is why Srila Narottam Das Thakur says, you don't have to do a lot of Tirtha Yatra, but take the shelter of a Sharanagata Bhakta and serve the devotees. That's what Srila Narottam Das Thakur says. And the reason why all these Tirthas are holy places are holy, because holy people are present there. Otherwise, they don't have much of a potency if the holy people are not present in those places. Yeah, so that's the potency of a sadhu. Yes, please. Next one, somebody. 17th. No, 16th.
Who is there desiring deliverance from the vices of the age of quarrel? Who is not willing to hear the virtuous glories of the Lord?
Yeah, you can continue the next one, Prabhu.
His transcendental acts are magnificent and gracious, and great learned sages like Narada sing of them. Please therefore speak to us who are eager to hear about the adventures he performs in his various incarnations.
Yes, thank you. Somebody else, 18, please.
Oh, wise Suta, please narrate to us the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Godhead's multi-incarnations, such auspicious adventures and pastimes of the Lord, the Supreme Controller, are performed by his internal powers.
Yeah, thank you. And somebody else also was trying to read. Please do the 19th one, whoever that was.
It was me, Mataji.
Oh, resound. I thought there was somebody else doing it. Okay, 19th one, somebody else, please.
We never tire of hearing the transcendental pastimes of the personality of Godhead, who is glorified by hymns and prayers. Those who have developed a taste for transcendental relationship with him relish hearing of his pastimes at every moment.
Isn't that wonderful? That's an icing on the whole cake. Please, can somebody, what is it so special about the message there? Can you read it and say there is a special message there?
Taste of transcendental.
Prayers.
Relishing and hearing his pastimes.
Okay, hey, yes. But when does that happen?
Get transcendental relationship with him.
Taste for
All right. Develop a taste, transcendental relationship, yes. But we may not have, right now we don't have that strong transcendental relationship yet, but at least developing a taste for it. So all that we are talking about Srimad Bhagavatam, initially it will just be like words, okay, information, okay, like that. But as we develop a transcendental relationship with the Lord, first cultivate the taste. Yes, I really want to develop transcendental relationship with the Lord, because Lord is a person, Bhagavan is person. Bhakti is about the reciprocation of a devotee and Bhagavan, and I really would like to revive that relationship. If that desire is nurtured, then follows the actual reviving of the relationship. And when that is happening, at that time when we hear all these topics, it's not just a piece of information anymore. It is not dry anymore. Then it becomes swadu, swadu, pade, pade. This is so relishing. Please say more, please say more. So that swadu, swadu, pade, pade happens when we have a desire to revive the relationship, and when the transcendental relationship with Bhagavan is getting more stronger. This is why we are doing bhakti, not just for the information's sake. Bhagavatam is not just for information's sake. Bhagavatam is to relish about Bhagavan, who is the object of our worship. So please note that point. This is a shining gem in the whole chapter, reviving the relationship with Bhagavan. And that's when we want to swadu, swadu, pade, pade. Yeah, we want to keep this in mind when we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam and when we are chanting the holy name. That is to revive our relationship with Lord Shri Krishna, Bhagavan. If we do not remember the purpose of that, all our chanting would be just mere sound vibrations. That's it. Nothing more than that. Doesn't touch our heart. And all the Bhagavatam reading is just the information collection. That's it. But if this element is there, I want to revive this transcendental relationship with Bhagavan, then the transformation will happen. Beautiful. Next one, please, somebody.
Lord Shri Krishna.
Yes, please.
Lord Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, along with Balram, played like a human being, and so masked, he performed many superhuman acts.
Yes, thank you. You can do the next one too, brother.
Knowing well that the age of Kali has already begun, we are assembled here in this holy place to hear at great length the transcendental message of Godhead and in this way performs sacrifice.
Yeah, look at this. Here, the 1,000-year sacrifice is Om Swaha. Not, it's not the Om Swaha, not the heart sacrifice, and not the big deity worship. This sacrifice here is the Harikatha, Srimad Bhagavatam. Reciting that and hearing that. That's the sacrifice that is going on. Right? And this is a sacrifice that is intended for the good of the people in Kali Yuga. That's why all the sages gathered there to do the yajna of Krishna Katha. To speak and to hear, both of it is yajna. Both is purifying. Yeah, next one, please. 20 seconds, somebody.
We think that we have met your goodness by the will of providence, just so that we may accept you as a captain of the ship for those who desire to cross the difficult ocean of Kali, which deteriorates all the good qualities of a human being.
Okay. Oh, somebody was trying to read. Please do the last one.
Since Sri Krishna, the absolute truth, the master of all mystic powers, has departed for his own abode, please tell us to whom the religious principle have now gone for shelter.
Yes, thank you. So that's the whole first chapter. We can stop sharing the screen. Yeah, so that's what we have discussed now. The whole first chapter, we have churned the first chapter. And we have these butterballs now. One butterball is the flow of the first chapter. Second one is all the take-home points of the first chapter. The third one, butterball, which will still be in the process for some time, is the important slokas of the first chapter, right? Yeah, this is all about first chapter. And in the next class, we will directly go to the answers that are present in the second chapter and the third chapter. Second chapter is going to be dense and very relishing, in the sense there's a lot of discussion about bhakti there, a lot of practical application there too. You know, all the stages of devotion, they are discussed there, starting from sadhu sangha to bhava, prema, and hari madhurya anubhavam, which is transferring to the vraja. All that is present in the second chapter. So it's not going to be so quick as the first one. First one is there are 6 questions here. And there are just 3 or 4 verses. And of course, the first 3 slokas, which are introductory. And we have been hearing for so many years now. Do you feel like that? We've been hearing the 3 slokas for so many years. In the morning, in the evening. Weekdays, weekends. Anyway, so we will pause here. And then next Friday is the Friday before Gaura Purnima. We want to hear some Gaura Katha next Friday. So I will try to give you an overview of the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yes.
Yeah, I am looking forward to, really looking forward to. I remember this was the feeling when Srimad Bhagavatam was started, and now Gauranga has to come. So next Friday will be Chaitanya Charitamrita, overview of that. And after that, we will get into the second and third chapter of the Bhagavatam. Sounds okay? Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji, for not giving the class and rubbing this in our minds and heart so we can learn it. It is not a class.
Yeah. This. Yeah. Yes, Mataji. I think this is good for me also. Definitely good for you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Now, yeah, because now even passively also all the information that was discussed will just get into us. Yeah. Dividing it, the contents of it, the slokas, the meanings, yes. All the important verses are also covered. So the first chapter is thoroughly dealt now. You're all experts in it now. So if somebody knocks on your door tomorrow morning, please, the whole first chapter has to come out. Along with
This
the
is
application.
tutoring,
points.
Mataji.
Prabhu?
I was saying this is not a class, but this is tutoring. You have really made sure that we get all the points and everything. So thank you for that.
Okay, Ravindra Prabhu, let's start. One take-home point. It can be just one word. One word.
Submissive, Mataji. I was
Awesome.
thinking about really submissive. Yeah.
Thank you. And somebody else? One word take-home point.
Mataji, we need to develop a taste.
Taste for relationship.
Taste for relationship. Oh, thank you. Wow. I think we cannot end this katha without taking your reflections. I am starting to relish now as I'm hearing from you. Thank you. Please, somebody else?
Mataji, for me too, it was submissiveness to, to hear and listen in that mode of submissiveness.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Submissiveness. Yeah.
For me too, Mataji.
Prabhu?
For me too.
Submissiveness. Okay. This is being reinforced for me now. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu.
For me, for the taste for developing the relationship, Mataji.
Taste for relationship. Divine relationship with Bhagavan. Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Yes. Rest of you, please. Don't you want to pack something and go? One word. Rest of you.
To hear more about Krishna.
Yes. Swadu, swadu, pade, pade. Yes, Prabhu. Madhu, Prabhu. Now I can remember. When I see you, swadu, swadu, pade, pade, Madhu, Prabhu. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes.
Mataji, the sweetest fruit of the Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the sweetest ripened fruit of Vedic literature. Thank you, Prabhu.
Mataji, that slide about all the qualities like Anabha and the second one I don't remember, but Soumya, and that seemed like it summarized those.
Oh yeah, yes, Mataji. Thank you. Yes, if as those, then that can cause transformation in the audience. If those qualities are, it would be mere information only. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Yeah.
Mataji, two other things that one is how the sages are trying to, ask about the welfare of us or, of the Kali Yuga. So that was one. So kind of, of how we can propagate. And when that point came, I was thinking about how, people do book distribution, which is indirectly, or Sankirtan, which is indirectly the welfare of others as well. So that was one thought that crossed my mind.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you. Srila Prabhupada, his mission is that. That's the instruction he received from his Guru Maharaj, to propagate Krishna consciousness, to share the knowledge about Krishna. Yeah, that's the mission for the good of others. So yes, that's wonderful, Prabhu. Our life is for the good of others. Yeah, Achar should
And
flow
one
out
more
as
thing,
Prachar. Prabhu?
Hearing consciously or unconsciously the name of Krishna removes the fear and yes.
Yes, awesome. I want to remember this, Prabhu, when I'm doing the Harinam tomorrow, when I'm chanting. Yes, thank you.
Mataji, can we talk about one thing that maybe was a little conflicting?
What is it, Mataji?
Can we talk about one thing that was a little conflicting? Like, it's not a takeaway, but it's just something.
Yeah, so maybe we can, yes, please go ahead, put forward the question. Either we can do it now or we can carry it on to the next one. But please go ahead, Mataji.
So, Mataji, we talked about the Sadhu Sangha, like it's important. But maybe I didn't understand, or maybe I'm misinterpreting, but here it was about when we, for the meaning interpretation of the shlokas, he said about the Ganges, like taking bath in the holy Ganges, it will take a long time. But if you have like do service to the devotees, that is better. But then in some other places also, we had discussed that in some detail, and
while it is not up to us to identify who are the right devotees and who are not, but if we have the right intention to do that, then we don't incur the outcome of who we offer it to, right?
Oh yeah, wonderful. That is awesome. If our focus is only on service mode, whoever it is, then that is awesome. But the what sloka was trying to say is, when we get in association with somebody who is practicing pure bhakti, then that potency will be really significant. It causes transformation in us. So that's what the sloka was trying to say. But in your case, what you're saying is, if somebody is developing that service attitude, they would just serve everybody, including a pure devotee. So they will get that benefit anyway. So it's a wonderful one to have that service attitude, Mataji, to whoever it is. Yes.
Because you wouldn't know like who is devotee
Yes,
or devotee.
exactly. Yeah, initially, yes. That's the best thing, to just develop service attitude, and Krishna will send the pure devotee to that person anyway. So the more transformation can take place. Yes, Mataji. Good point. Yeah. All right.
Mataji, I had one quick question. Can I ask, or should I ask in the next Bhakti Vriksha?
Yeah, go ahead, Prabhu. 1 more minute today.
Okay.
Yes.
So Mataji, we said submissive, right, or submission. So if somebody is like ignorant, right, because being ignorant is also like, does not know and asking for any knowledge or gyan. So are they very similar? Somebody ignorant will also be considered submissive.
Yeah. Here, ignorant people also can be submissive. Very intelligent people also should be submissive. So submissiveness is a different character, different quality. If we are ignorant or knowledgeable also. But what was your question, Prabhu, exactly?
So my question is, like, ignorant people, they are really like ignorant, right? They don't know. So
right.
The example could be that like if somebody is asking for a specific, like in this case, right, they were asking like 6 questions to Sutta Goswami, right? So they knew what they were asking and they were submissive, right? The other example could be that one does not know what they want to know, but they are just saying that, okay, tell me something, I want to know, but I don't know what I want to ask, right? So that's a ignorant to me. So are they both submissive, or?
Yeah. As long as it is gentle inquiry, even if they don't know anything, they would just say, I don't know anything, but please tell me what is good for me. I just don't have any idea about anything. That is also submissive. They're not challenging. They're gentle, they're respectful, right? That is, and grateful. Gentle, respectful, and grateful together is more of submissiveness.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. So we'll pause here, right? And we'll meet next Friday for some Gaura Katha. So thank you all so much for your association. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaiva cha paridanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Ram. Hare